Welcome to another literary exploration. Today we dive into one of the most unsettling and thought-provoking works of modern literature, Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis. This haunting tale takes us deep into the absurd and terrifying world of Gregor Samsa, a man who wakes up one morning to find himself transformed into a giant insect. Let's get started. The Metamorphosis begins with one of the most famous and shocking opening lines in literature. When Gregor Samsa woke up one morning from unsettling dreams, he found himself changed in his bed into a monstrous vermin. This abrupt transformation is presented without explanation, throwing both Gregor and the reader into a world of absurdity and horror. Gregor Samsa, a traveling salesman, is the sole breadwinner for his family. He works tirelessly to support them, despite his own dissatisfaction and exhaustion. His transformation into an insect, however, marks the beginning of his alienation, not just from his work but from his family and his own humanity. From the moment of his transformation, Gregor's life becomes a series of humiliating struggles. He can no longer communicate with his family, his once orderly life is shattered, and his very existence becomes a source of shame and horror for those around him. His family, who once depended on him, now see him as a burden, something grotesque that must be hidden away. As Gregor becomes more isolated, he reflects on his life before the transformation. He realizes that he was already living like an insect, trapped in a monotonous routine, working tirelessly without personal fulfillment or recognition. Kafka uses Gregor's physical transformation to symbolize the dehumanizing effects of modern life, where individuals are often reduced to mere cogs in the machinery of society. As the story progresses, we witness the gradual deterioration of Gregor's relationship with his family. At first, they are shocked and confused by his transformation, but as time goes on, their initial sympathy turns into resentment. Gregor's father, who had been dependent on Gregor's income, now revives his old authoritarian role, while his mother is torn between love and repulsion. His sister Greta initially cares for him, but even she eventually grows weary and begins to see him as nothing more than a pest. The family's response to Gregor's transformation highlights the theme of alienation that pervades the novella. Gregor's physical change is a metaphor for his emotional and social disconnection. As he becomes more insect-like, he loses his identity, his dignity, and his place within the family. Kafka poignantly illustrates how quickly love and loyalty can turn into indifference and rejection when someone becomes a burden. In the final section of the story, Gregor's condition worsens. He becomes weaker, his movements more labored, and his family's neglect more pronounced. The once vibrant and lively Gregor is now a mere shell of his former self, reduced to a pitiful existence in a darkened room. In a heartbreaking turn, Greta, who had once been his closest ally, declares that the family must be rid of Gregor, stating that they can no longer consider him a member of the family. Faced with this ultimate rejection, Gregor retreats to his room and, in a moment of acceptance, succumbs to his fate. He dies alone, unmourned and forgotten, his body discarded like trash by the family that once relied on him. Kafka ends the novella with a chilling reflection on the nature of existence and the ease with which society can discard those who no longer serve a purpose. The Metamorphosis is a powerful exploration of alienation, identity, and the human condition. Through Gregor's transformation, Kafka delves into the absurdity of existence and the fragility of human connections. The story challenges us to consider how society treats those who are different, those who can no longer contribute, and those who fall outside the norms. Gregor's plight also serves as a critique of the dehumanizing aspects of work and family life in the modern world. His transformation into an insect symbolizes the loss of individuality and humanity that can occur when one is reduced to a mere function, an expendable part of a larger machine. Kafka's writing, characterized by its sparse and precise prose, evokes a sense of unease and inevitability, drawing readers into Gregor's nightmarish reality. The story's surreal elements, combined with its stark portrayal of everyday life, create a haunting narrative that lingers long after the final page. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of Kafka's The Metamorphosis. If this story has sparked your interest, please like, share, and subscribe for more literary journeys and deep dives into the world of classic literature. Goodbye.